You are not here by accident. This moment, this connection between us was divinely orchestrated. The universe has conspired to bring this message to you precisely when you needed it most. That feeling of uncertainty that's been haunting your steps, that hesitation that's been holding you back from your true greatness, it ends today. The very fact that you're listening to these words means you're ready. You're ready to turn the uncertainty that has been slowing you down into steady, bold action. The power of the divine in you has been waiting, quietly, patiently, for you to notice it, accept it, and let it work through you. Ancient wisdom says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This means what you cannot yet see with your eyes is already forming in the unseen. Doubt is not a brick wall, it's a thin curtain. Faith pulls that curtain aside. Today we do that together. We turn wavering into certainty and hesitation into movement. This shift is not only possible, it becomes natural once you understand the laws that rule life. Through history, people who learned these laws changed the world. They were not born with special gifts you don't have. They learned to use what was already inside them. You can do the same. As we walk through this message, you'll learn how to quiet the voice of doubt, line up with the law of good, and step into the life that already belongs to you by birthright. The divine within you is waking up to these truths now. Can you feel that spark? Unstoppable action begins with one step, the one you are taking right now. Hear this clearly. Everything you need is already in you. Life is not testing you. Life is inviting you. Doubt is not your enemy. Doubt is only the shadow that appears when you turn your back to the light. Turn toward the light of your own God-given nature and watch the shadows vanish. Your change starts now. Uncertainty is a trick of the mind. It looks big and loud, but it fades when truth enters. The truth is simple. The universe runs on perfect law. Gravity doesn't think about whether to hold you to the ground. It just does. In the same way, cause and effect never stutter. Your thoughts, when charged with feeling, set causes in motion that must show up as effects. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your inner world builds your outer world. If you feed your mind repeated pictures of uncertainty, you invite more of it. If you plant clear, confident thoughts, you harvest matching results. Picture an acorn. Inside that small seed is the map for a great oak. The acorn does not worry, bargain, or stall. It yields to the law of growth, and the blueprint inside it unfolds. You are no different. The design for your greatness is already in you. Your doubt cannot erase that design. It can only slow its expression. Or think of water. Water takes the shape of any container, a cup, a river, a wave. The water does not change its nature, only the form changes. In the same way, the life force flowing through you is constant, rich, and strong. Your beliefs act like the container. They decide how that power flows into your work, your money, your relationships, your health. Remember a child learning to walk. A child falls, gets up, tries again. The child doesn't ask, "Am I worthy of walking?" The child simply keeps going. That same natural confidence lives in you beneath layers of fear and second guessing. You were made to move, build, and grow. You were made to act. Uncertainty is not a fixed reality. It's a mental habit. And like any habit, it can be replaced with the habit of faith, the habit of calm confidence, the habit of choosing and moving. Your mind may bring up old scenes, times you tried and didn't get what you wanted, limits you think you have, the voice that says, "Not yet." Those are pages from an old script you have been acting out without noticing. Today, you start a new script. In this new story, uncertainty does not run the show. Your God-given authority does. The first step in this change is to see uncertainty for what it is, not a true measure of life, only a fog that hides the road already under your feet. To clear that fog, speak with me now, out loud if you can. Divine wisdom guides my every step. I move forward with clear confidence, knowing infinite intelligence supports me. Let these words settle in your chest. Let them steady your breath. Feel how simple truth pushes back the fog. You are not alone. You are not empty. You are not stuck. You are a divine being with real power, guided by real wisdom. The fog is thinning. The road is appearing. The shift has begun. Faith is not blind wishing. Faith is a quiet knowing that moves your feet. When you know deep down that your desired outcome is on its way, you behave like it. You plan like it. You make calls like it. You show up like it. This is the missing link for many people. They wait to feel certain before they move. But in this law, movement creates certainty. You take the step, and the next piece of the path lights up. You act, and the feeling of, I can do this, grows. The more you move, the stronger your certainty becomes. So we start simple. We begin with one clean truth repeated until it feels natural. Divine wisdom guides my steps. With each step I take, the way opens. Say it again in your own words if you like. The point is not fancy language. The point is to anchor a true idea until it becomes your normal state. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need every detail. You need the first move, and you have that now. Keep your attention here, on the law that never fails, on the light that never goes out, on the design within you that wants to express. Doubt will still try to whisper. Let it talk while you keep walking. Soon it will have nothing left to say. Faith is not blind wishing. Faith is a quiet, steady knowing that makes you move. It is the kind of inner certainty that changes how you speak, how you plan, and how you show up, even when the outer picture has not changed yet. People who build new things in this world understand this. Inventors who try again after many failed attempts, artists who keep creating when no one is watching, founders who push forward when the numbers look bleak, they do not wait for perfect signs. Their faith is active. It acts as if the result is already on the way, and because of that, they take the next clear step. Think of Madame C.J. Walker. She was born into hardship, orphaned young, a widow with a child by the age of 20. Her life did not begin in comfort. Later, when she struggled with hair loss, she described a dream that revealed a way to heal her scalp. She followed that guidance, tested mixtures, and turned a private solution into a product that helped thousands. She started selling, training agents, and building a company when there was no guarantee of success. What she did have was conviction and movement. She is remembered as America's first self-made female millionaire. She once said in her own way, "I had to make my own chance, so I made it." Do not sit and wait for the door. Go and build it. That is faith in action, not loud emotion, not wishful thinking. A calm decision that says, "I proceed." Here is the law beneath her story and beneath yours. Life runs by exact order. When you plant a certain seed, you get a matching harvest. Plant corn, and you do not get wheat. Plant doubt, and you do not harvest confidence. Plant decisive action charged with faith, and by law you meet results that answer that seed. This is not random. It is cause and effect. It is expectancy at work. The game of life returns to you what you send out in thought, feeling, word, and deed. It may take time, but it is astonishingly accurate. Your expectation is more than a mood. It is a forecast you send ahead of you. Expect to freeze, and your body tightens. Expect to speak clearly, and your voice steadies. Expect doors to open as you move, and you begin to notice doors that were always there. This is why the old line matters. According to your faith, be it unto you. That line is not only religious language, It is a map of how experience forms. The measure of your trust sets the measure of your outcome, not sometimes, consistently. So ask honestly, where has your attention been resting? Have you been replaying doubts, feeding them with long inner conversations until they look like facts? Or have you been tending to one small flame of faith, giving it air every day, watching it grow? Whatever you water, grows, starve doubt of your attention, and it weakens. Feed faith with simple, repeated action, and it strengthens. There is no mystery in this. It is training. It is practice. It is you choosing what to make bigger inside your mind. Speak with me now so your body hears it. 2. My faith is steady. I trust the perfect law to bring my good to me. I move with clear certainty, knowing infinite intelligence backs my every step. Say it slowly enough to feel it. Do not rush it. Let the words sink past the thinking mind and settle into the deeper place where habits live. The point is not a magical phrase. The point is alignment. When your thought, feeling, and action line up, power flows without interruption. Understand one more thing. Faith that never moves is not faith. It is a daydream. Real faith nudges your feet. It reshapes your calendar. It makes you pick up the phone you have been avoiding. It makes you open the file you have been delaying. It makes you send the message, submit the draft, ask for the meeting, press publish, or step into the room. You do not act because all fear is gone. You act because your trust is bigger than the fear that remains. And as you act, fear shrinks. As you act, clarity increases. As you act, your identity upgrades from someone who hopes to someone who moves. Let this be practical. Choose one small action that fits the path you claim to be on. If you want clients, reach out to one person today. If you want to heal a relationship, start one honest conversation. If you want to build a skill, spend 20 focused minutes on it. Do not wait until you feel perfect. Use what you have. Start where you are. The law meets you at movement, not at delay. When you step, the next patch of ground appears. When you knock, the handle shows. When you speak, the right ear hears. Keep repeating the truth while you move. My faith is steady. The way opens as I go. If your mind argues and throws old failures at you, answer gently. That was the old script. I am writing a new one. If your body tightens, breathe and take the step anyway. If your voice shakes, speak and let it steady on sentence 2. Your job is not to erase every trace of doubt. Your job is to keep going in the presence of it until the balance shifts. You will notice small returns first, a reply you were not expecting, a moment of ease in a place that used to feel heavy, a fresh idea arriving when you sit down to work. Do not brush these aside. Mark them. They are early fruit from new seed. Thank them and continue. Momentum builds quietly and then all at once. By then, what once felt like effort will feel like your normal pace. There is gold hidden inside the lead weight of uncertainty. Faith is the alchemist that draws it out, not by spell, but by order, not by luck, but by law. You have already started. You heard the words, you spoke the words, you moved your attention. Now let your feet match your focus. One clean act today is worth 100 bright promises for tomorrow. Move and watch how quickly the fog loosens its hold. Move and watch how the world seems to move with you. Life turns on decision points. Small moments decide big futures. These are the seconds when you either give your power to uncertainty or you claim it through action. They don't always look grand. They can be as ordinary as making the call you keep delaying, opening the file you keep avoiding, or speaking a truth you've been holding back. Yet these choices chart the course of your days. In such moments, it can feel as if the whole universe goes quiet, waiting to see what you will do. When you choose to move, clearly, quickly, without second-guessing, you set forces in motion that change not only your situation, but also the person you are becoming. Consider Admiral Hyman G. Rickover, later called the father of the nuclear navy. In 1946, he was tasked with exploring whether nuclear power could drive ships. No one had done it. The unknowns were massive. The risks were real. Many would have studied the idea, written reports, and waited for perfect certainty. Rickover chose differently. He committed not just to investigating the concept, but to making it work. He pushed his team with what he called courageous impatience. He challenged every settled assumption. When rules blocked progress, he found lawful ways to navigate them. When experts said it could not be done, he asked why not, and then proved that it could. 8 years later, in a timeline that stunned observers, the first nuclear-powered submarine, USS Nautilus, took to the water. That decision point, choosing action in the fog, reshaped naval history and opened new paths in peaceful nuclear applications. This is what decisive moments do. They don't require you to have all the answers. They don't wait until every doubt is gone. They require you to behave as if your success is already aligned with you, which, under divine law, it is. Faith, the scripture reminds us, gives substance to what you hope for and forms evidence before your eyes can see it. Faith is not only belief, it becomes proof through the choices you make. When uncertainty clouds your mind, take it as a signal to act rather than a reason to freeze. The presence of doubt is an invitation to exercise your faith muscle. Like any muscle, it strengthens with use, not with theory. Ask yourself a clean question. What would I do right now if I had absolute faith in my success? Do that thing immediately. Send the message, request the meeting, begin the project, draft the page, press publish, act first, let the feeling catch up. Do not wait for the inner weather to be perfect. Decisive movement changes the inner weather. Each step you take clears a bit more of the fog. Each yes to aligned action turns down the voice of hesitation. With repetition, action becomes your default setting, your normal rhythm, your steady identity. Speak this aloud so your whole system hears it. I am decisive and courageous. I seize the critical moments of my life and transform them through immediate action. My path clears as I advance with unshakable confidence. Say it again slowly. Feel your breath settle. Picture one decision point you face today and watch yourself moving through it cleanly. This is not theatrics. It is training your focus to match your intention and teaching your body to follow. Every decisive moment is a crossroads. One road circles back to the old loop. More waiting, more uncertainty, more energy spent holding back. The other is forward motion, more clarity, more power, more alignment with your purpose. There is always a cost. The cost of action is the discomfort of stretching. The cost of inaction is the erosion of self-trust. Choose wisely. Choose the path that grows you. Choose the decision that matches who you say you are. Understand that certainty is not the ticket you hand over to gain entry to action. Action is the ticket that earns you certainty. When you step, the path shows more of itself. When you decide, you free energy that was stuck in maybe. When you commit, you become someone new, the kind of person who moves while others hesitate. This is how doubt loses its grip, not by wrestling with it endlessly, but by walking forward until it can no longer keep pace with you. Let today's step be simple and visible. Simplicity cuts through noise. Visibility builds momentum. If your mind tries to bargain, later, when I'm ready, answer it gently and still move. Readiness grows from doing. If your chest tightens, breathe once and still move. Courage is not the absence of sensation, it is action in the presence of it. If your voice shakes, speak and let it steady by sentence 2. You are not proving yourself to anyone. You are practicing alignment with what you already are. As you act, notice the signs that answer you, a door that opens, a reply that arrives, a feeling of rightness where there used to be weight. Mark these without drama. They are early evidence that law is at work and that your inner stance is producing outer form. Keep going. Momentum is quiet until it isn't, and then it carries you. Remember Rickover when the old habit of delaying tries to return. Remember that your life will not be shaped by how perfectly you thought about your options, but by how cleanly you chose in the moments that mattered. Decision is power. It cuts off escape routes. It gathers your energy. It sends a clear order to the unseen to organize around your move. Choose and choose again. With each choice, you reinforce the truth you have been hearing since the beginning. You are guided, you are backed, and you are meant to act. Perfectionism is the quiet saboteur of unstoppable action. It dresses itself up as high standards and careful taste, but under the costume, it is just uncertainty trying to feel safe. It whispers, "I will begin when everything is exactly right. I will move when I am sure this will be flawless." It sounds wise, but it freezes your growth. Excellence and perfectionism are not the same. Excellence asks you to give your best today and place the result under grace. Perfectionism demands the impossible and then shames you for not reaching it. Excellence speeds you up. Perfectionism locks your feet. Look at any masterpiece. Under the smooth final layer are many layers of paint. The artist began, stepped back, corrected, began again, and kept going. Perfection did not come first. It came through the process. Your work, your calling, your next chapter follow the same pattern. Let all things be done decently and in order does not mean do nothing until you can do it without a single flaw. It means begin and keep your steps in order. It points you to steady practice, not to endless delay. The divine in you is not asking for flawless. The divine asks for faithful. Faithful to your purpose, faithful to the next clear step, faithful to showing up with what you have while trusting that more light will meet you on the path. There is a big difference between aiming for excellence and bowing to perfectionism. Excellence says, do your best, release the outcome, and improve as you go. Perfectionism says, if it cannot be perfect now, it is not worth doing. One builds momentum, the other builds dust. Think of Marie Curie. She worked in hard conditions with simple tools. If she had waited for the perfect lab, perfect instruments, perfect certainty, she would still be waiting. Instead, she moved with what she had, learned by doing, and allowed clarity to increase through action. She discovered radioactivity and the elements radium and polonium, and remains the only person to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different scientific fields. She once observed, "One never notices what has been done. One can only see what remains to be done." That simple sentence breaks perfectionism's spell. It turns your eyes from the imaginary ideal to the honest next step. Her breakthroughs did not require a perfect beginning. They required a beginning. Speak this now so your whole system hears it. I release the need for perfect conditions. I act now knowing that divine wisdom guides my progress through consistent action. My path perfects itself. Breathe with it. Let the words drop below the mind and into the place where decisions live. This is not a trick. It is alignment. When your thought, feeling, and action agree, power flows. When you feel the urge to delay until you are more ready, recognize the disguise. I am being responsible is often perfectionism wearing a neat suit. True responsibility is movement with integrity. It is beginning where you are, using what you have, and trusting the law to multiply your seed. Perfect action is not required of you. Faithful action is. Consistent action is. Unstoppable action is. Readiness grows from doing, not from waiting. If your mind brings up the past and says, "You tried before and it was messy," answer simply, "That was practice." This is today. If your body tightens as you start, let it. Tension is not a stop sign, it is a passing sensation. If your voice shakes as you share your work, speak anyway. It will steady by the next paragraph. The only way out of the loop is forward. Forward motion, however imperfect, activates the law of increase. What you do consistently gains power. What you leave undone shrinks. There is a question you can keep close to cut through the fog. Not, is this perfect? But is this moving me forward? One clear email sent is better than a dozen drafts never finished. One honest conversation begun is better than a script rehearsed forever. 1 hour of focused practice is better than a week of planning with no attempt. The law meets you in motion. Give thanks for small progress. When you send the message, thank the courage that pressed send. When you open the file and write the first page, thank the impulse that moved your hand. When you show up for the session you wanted to cancel, thank the strength that kept the appointment. Gratitude marks the path. What you acknowledge grows. These moments are not minor. They are how a new identity forms. Someone who moves, learns, and improves in real time. Keep the simple rhythm. Begin, adjust, continue. Let excellence guide your effort and release the rest to divine order. When you act, feedback arrives. When feedback arrives, improvement is obvious. When improvement is obvious, confidence rises. When confidence rises, action speeds up. This is the upward spiral that perfectionism can never offer you, because perfectionism blocks the first step. Say the affirmation again as a seal. I release the need for perfect conditions. I act now, and divine wisdom orders my steps. My path perfects itself as I move. Feel how that last line lifts the weight. You are not tasked with sculpting a flawless statue in one stroke. You are tasked with picking up the chisel today. The form emerges as you work. The way clears as you walk. The masterpiece of your life cannot appear if your brush never touches the canvas. Begin and let grace refine. There is a steady current running through all of life, a living stream of creative power that carries things toward right expression. This is not frantic busyness or anxious hustle. It is purposeful movement that matches divine order. Look at the world around you. Rivers do not argue about whether to reach the sea, they flow. Planets do not hesitate each morning, they orbit in time. Seasons do not doubt their cue, they turn when it is time to turn. Nothing in nature is paralyzed by uncertainty. Everything moves in rhythm with the current. You are not separate from this current. You are an expression of it. The times you feel most alive and most clear are the times you allow this current to move through you without resistance. Uncertainty acts like a dam. It blocks the flow, makes the water still, and still water loses its freshness. The same is true of your potential. Fear and doubt slow the movement that keeps you growing. Faith and clean action open the gates and let the power run again. Be not afraid, only believe is not just a line from Scripture. It is practical guidance on how to reconnect with this current. Fear constricts, belief expands, doubt clogs, decision clears. William James, called the father of American psychology, pointed to a simple, strong way to step back into flow. He called it the as-if principle. If you want courage, act as if you already have it. If you want confidence, act as if you are confident. If you want to be decisive, act as if you are decisive now. This is not faking it. It is letting your choices match the truth of who you are becoming, which gives that truth room to grow. James tried this in the hardest season of his life when depression and uncertainty pressed him down. Instead of waiting to feel certain before he moved, he made a moral choice to believe his actions mattered. He chose to behave as if his steps could make a difference, even while his feelings wavered. That decision lifted him and led to work that changed his field. His doubt did not vanish first. It weakened because he acted. This is how the current works in you. Certainty is not a pass you present before you enter the river. Movement is what brings certainty. When you take the step that matches your purpose, the water carries you. As you move, the next stone to place your foot on appears. As you act, your confidence grows because you can feel the current under you, not just think about it. Say this with me so your whole system hears it. I am one with the divine current of unstoppable action. As I move, the way clears before me. As I act, my certainty increases. Let the words settle. Let your breath lengthen. Feel the knot in the chest loosen as you remember that flow is your natural state. If you ever find yourself hesitating because you cannot see the entire path, picture a wide river. Would the river stop because it cannot see every bend and branch ahead? Of course not. A river's nature is to keep flowing, and by flowing, it shapes its path. Your nature is to act from the divine impulse, not from panic, but from purpose. Trust that impulse. When you feel a clean nudge to create, to speak, to move, honor it quickly. Do not drown it in analysis. Do not wait for 5 signs and 3 permissions. The divine often speaks as a quiet push in a clear direction. The faster you respond to that push, the stronger the signal becomes. Delay weakens it. Swift obedience strengthens it. Now I invite you to take one visible step that anchors this truth. In the comments, write this line: I am unstoppable action personified. It is a simple sentence, but it does more than decorate the page. It is you choosing alignment in public. It is you saying to the universe and to your own inner mind, I am done waiting for perfect conditions. I move now. Writing it is not a ritual for show. It is a small, concrete act of faith. It opens a channel. It breaks the dam a little more. It lets the current catch you. Remember, the current does not force itself on anyone. It is always here, always moving, always ready to carry you, but it honors your choice. When you align your words and actions with it, you feel lifted. When you resist it with hesitation and fear, you feel heavy. Choose the lighter feeling. Choose the flow. Say yes to the nudge. Take the next step in front of you with a calm heart. The power is not outside waiting to be found. It is inside waiting to be released. Let this be the way you move from now on. Feel the nudge, act quickly, and let feedback guide your next move. If you slip into worry, return to the affirmation and to the picture of the river. If your mind demands the entire map, give it the next step instead. If your body tightens, breathe and take that step anyway. Action will warm you. Flow will steady you. Momentum will build. This is the divine current carrying you to your right place, under grace, in perfect ways. There is a soft voice that uncertainty uses to keep you still. It says that doing nothing is safer than doing something. It says that waiting will protect you. It says that not deciding is a kind of wisdom. This voice sounds calm. It sounds careful, but it is a lie. Inaction is not safety. Inaction is surrender. When you refuse to move, you hand your power to events, to the choices of other people, and to conditions you did not design. Look back with clear eyes. Has hesitation ever truly kept you safe? Or has it mostly cost you time, chances, and the very lessons that would have made you sure? Ancient wisdom paints the picture with humor and truth. The lazy man says, "There is a lion in the road." It is a way of showing how the mind invents strong reasons to stay still. We imagine danger where there is only air. We picture rejection where there is only a conversation. We see failure where there is only a next step. The more vivid the imagined lion, the more natural it feels to stay home and do nothing. Yet the cost of that choice rarely shows up all at once. It shows up as a smaller life. It shows up as a quieter voice. It shows up as a dull ache that says you were built for more. The paradox is sharp. What feels safe is often the most dangerous. What feels risky, the clean act taken in faith, is usually the real safety. Action builds skill. Action builds options. Action builds self-trust. Those three things protect you far more than hiding ever could. When you move, you learn. When you learn, you adjust. When you adjust, you grow strong. That strength is security. It travels with you. Think of Katharine Graham. After her husband died, she became the publisher of the Washington Post. She did not have formal training to run a newspaper. The industry was dominated by men, and many expected her to pass decisions to others. She faced a long list of unknowns. The safe move would have been to sell or to step back. She did the opposite. She took ownership. She made the calls herself. Under her watch, the paper printed the Pentagon Papers and reported the Watergate story. Those choices looked dangerous at the time. They risked money and standing, but they forged the paper's identity and helped build its lasting strength. Looking back, her path shows the rule at work. What seemed risky was the true safety. What seemed safe would have been the real risk. She later wrote that the best part of work is loving what you do and knowing it matters. That line reveals her center. She chose meaning over fear. She chose movement over stalling. She chose to act before the whole path was clear. The result was history. Let this sink in. Every time you pause because waiting feels safe, you are choosing the highest risk. Every time you move, even though doubt is present, you are choosing the path that grows your safety. This is not about reckless leaps. It is about clean, aligned steps. It is about acting on the light you have and trusting more light to arrive as you go. Say this with me so your body hears it. I recognize the illusion of safety in inaction. My true security lies in decisive action aligned with divine purpose. I act now, claiming my power and my destiny. Speak it one more time with steady breath. Feel how the words reorganize your posture. Feel how your system relaxes when you commit. Notice what shifts as you adopt this view. The mind will still offer delays. Later, when I am ready. Later, when the signs are perfect. But the so-called perfect moment never arrives. Conditions do not line up to remove all doubt and then wave you forward. That is not how this law works. In the order of life, action generates clarity, not the reverse. You step and the fog thins. You decide and the next piece appears. You move and guidance meets you. This is good news. It means you do not need the entire map. You need the first move. It means security does not come from avoiding waves. It comes from becoming the kind of person who can ride them. That kind of person forms through doing, through attempts, through feedback, through steady improvement, through holding your center while you act. Tie this to something close at hand. Think of one place where you have been sitting on your hands. A call, a message, a start, a boundary, a request, a page. Let the old stories rise if they must. Let the body feel what it feels. Then choose one small move that honors your future self. Press send, begin the draft, ask for the meeting, state the limit, book the first session. The move does not need to be large. It needs to be real. Real movement breaks the spell of imagined lions. Real movement brings you into the stream where help can find you. Mark whatever answer comes back to you. Maybe it is encouragement. Maybe it is silence. Maybe it is a note you can use to refine your next step. All of it is fuel. All of it is feedback. All of it is better than the numbness of hiding. Thank it and continue. Remember, momentum is a security you earn. Confidence is a security you build. Capacity is a security you carry. Keep the truth simple and near. Inaction drains life. Aligned action restores it. Inaction shrinks your world. Aligned action expands it. Inaction feeds fear. Aligned action starves it. The law is exact and kind. It meets you at movement. It multiplies what you plant. It supports the one who decides. Choose to be that one today. Choose the step that puts you in motion. Choose the kind of safety that grows with every mile you walk. Now we make it practical. Here is the daily rhythm that turns doubt into movement. It is simple on purpose. You do not need special tools. You need a clear start, one real step, and a clean finish. Begin with your morning. Before you look at messages or news, speak to your day. Say it out loud so your body hears it. Divine wisdom guides my steps today. I move with quiet confidence, knowing life is working for my highest good. Uncertainty has no hold on me. I am action in motion. Do not rush the words. Breathe slowly. Let your shoulders drop. You are not trying to force a mood. You are choosing a stance. This sets your direction before the day tries to set it for you. Before noon, take one action you have been postponing because of doubt. Keep it specific and real. Make the call you keep avoiding. Open the file and write the first page. Ask for the meeting. Have the honest conversation. Do it even if your voice shakes. Do it even if you only have 20 minutes. You are training your mind to learn that feeling unsure is not a stop sign. Each morning, one concrete step. This alone can change your week. When you move, notice it. Give yourself credit for the action itself, not only the result. Tell yourself, that was courageous. I followed through. I kept my word to myself. This small recognition matters. The mind remembers what you mark. What you appreciate, you repeat. Results will grow in time, but self-trust grows the instant you act and acknowledge it. Keep simple reminders in your space to support you. A word on your lock screen that says, move. A small stone on your desk that means solid ground. A line on a card you touch before a meeting. I act now. Clarity follows. These are not superstitions. They are cues. They help your focus return to the path when the day tries to scatter it. When a clean nudge comes, an idea, a name to contact, a prompt to start, respond quickly. Do not drown it with analysis. Do not text 3 friends for permission. Often the inner guidance is a quiet push, not a shout. If you answer it fast, the signal gets stronger next time. If you delay, it fades. This is how you become a clear channel for guidance. Hear, move, learn, repeat. Close the day with a short review and thanks. Sit for a minute. Name the actions you took. Note what worked and what you will try tomorrow. No judgment, only learning. Then give thanks. For the wisdom that led you, for the strength that carried you, for the chances that appeared. Gratitude closes the loop and resets you for the next round. You go to sleep pointed in the right direction. Hold a simple truth as you practice this. Your real opponent is fear, not circumstances, not other people, not the unknown. Doubt is only fear's shadow. This ritual dissolves it because it replaces delay with movement. It replaces fog with simple steps. It puts you back in the stream that has always been ready to carry you. Start this rhythm today, not when the calendar opens, not when you feel totally ready. Today, the perfect moment is the one you choose. Action brings clarity. Clarity rarely arrives first. The path shows more of itself as you walk. Each time you complete this loop, speak your morning word, take one real step, mark and learn, answer the nudge, end with thanks. You make a small deposit in a strong identity. I am a person who moves. That identity is worth more than any single outcome because it keeps paying you back. You may notice early signs that tell you the law is at work, a reply that arrives sooner than expected, a piece of resistance that suddenly feels lighter, an idea that drops in when you sit down to focus. Treat these as confirmation, not coincidence. Say thank you and continue. Momentum builds quietly and then all at once. If you fall off for a day, do not build a story. Begin again the next morning. The power of this ritual is not in never missing. It is in always returning. One honest loop can reset a week that started badly. One phone call can end a month of spinning. One page can restart a project that felt stuck. Seal today's choice with plain words you can remember. I act first. Clarity meets me. My steps are ordered under grace. The road opens as I go. Feel how calm that sounds. No rush, no strain, just order. This is how doubt loses ground, not through a fight, but through steady movement in the right direction. You are already on your way. We arrive at the turning point of this whole journey. Your greatest power is the power to decide. The root of the word decision means to cut off. When you truly decide, you cut off every other option. You remove the escape routes of delay and doubt. You stop leaving the door open for hesitation to wander back in. This is the moment where transformation becomes certain, not because uncertainty disappears first, but because your choice is stronger than your uncertainty. Choose you this day whom you will serve. That line is simple and practical. Will you serve the old habit of doubt, or will you serve the divine action moving through you now? Every person who has ever brought a vision into form has faced this same fork in the road. They did not wait until they felt perfect faith. They decided that their commitment would be bigger than their doubts, and they acted from that decision again and again. Think of Thomas Edison. He is remembered not because he felt sure all the time, but because he kept moving. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That is not naive optimism. That is the momentum of a person who decided in advance that he would reach the outcome. The methods could change. The path could twist. His core decision stood. That is the pattern available to you now. You do not need to erase every doubt. You need to choose in a way that makes your doubt too small to stop you. When you exercise this power, the world answers. Doors that were invisible start to appear. People show up. Ideas arrive. Timing aligns. We call this luck, but under divine law, it is response. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Notice the order. First comes commitment. Then your thoughts line up. Most people try to reverse it. They wait for perfect clarity before they commit. They wait for every doubt to die before they move. So they wait, and nothing changes. You know better now. Decision first, then clarity. Commitment first, then confirmation. Action first, then certainty. This is how law works in your favor. Your choice is the signal. Your movement is the proof. Your consistency is the seal. The moment you decide, you cut loose the energy trapped in maybe. You become focused. You stop negotiating with fear. You stop performing for approval. You begin to live from the inside out. Speak this aloud so your whole being hears it. I am a decisive being aligned with divine power. I cut off hesitation and delay. I commit fully to my chosen path. Through my decision, all things become possible. Say it one more time, slower, and let the words settle into your body. Decision is not a mood that comes and goes. It is a line you draw and then honor with movement. If your mind tries to argue, let it talk while you take the next step. If your nerves flare, breathe once and take the step anyway. Your choice leads. Your feelings follow. Understand the kindness of this order. You are not asked to see the whole road. You are asked to choose your direction and take the next piece. Once you choose, guidance increases because you can use it. Once you move, help can meet you because you are in motion. The universe is responsive soil. Seeds planted by decision take root faster than seeds dropped by accident. You can feel this in your own life. Think of times you made a clean choice. Leave, begin, speak, build. Even if fear was present, strength rose to match the choice. That was the law answering you. You were born with this power. You were not made to circle around your life forever. You were made to cut through. Decision does not make you rigid, it makes you free. It frees you from the weight of 1,000 small arguments. It frees your attention to do the work. It frees your voice to say yes and no without long explanations. It frees your time from the drain of second guessing. This freedom is not noisy. It is calm. It feels like standing on solid ground. If you notice your mind waiting for a sign to prove your choice is right, remember the order. Commit thy works, and your thoughts shall be established. Commit in deed, not only in intention. Send the message. Close the tab that keeps you wandering. Put your stake in the ground in a way you can see. Let the world feel the weight of your yes. Synchronicities multiply after, not before, this kind of move. Hold this in plain words you can carry. I decide, and I move. My decision is stronger than my doubt. Clarity meets me as I go. Keep it that simple. You do not need to solve your life tonight. You need to choose your direction and take the next faithful step under grace. Decision is the hinge on which the door turns. Open it and the room changes. When you truly decide, the world answers. This is more than a hopeful idea. It is how law works. A clean choice sends a clean signal. Energy that was stuck in maybe becomes focused and useful. Doors you could not see begin to show. People appear. Ideas arrive at the right hour. Timing lines up. We tend to name this luck, but under divine order it is response. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Notice the sequence. First comes commitment in deed, then your thoughts line up. Then your inner picture stabilizes. Most people try to reverse that order. They keep waiting for their thoughts and feelings to be perfectly arranged, and only then will they act. So they wait. The waiting becomes a habit. The habit becomes a life. You have learned a better sequence. Decision first. Clarity follows decision. Confirmation follows commitment. Certainty grows from action, not before it. Your choice is the switch that turns on the light in the room you are about to enter. If you refuse to flip the switch until you can already see, you stay in the dark. The moment you decide, you step across a line. You stop entertaining escape routes. You gather the pieces of yourself that were scattered. You reclaim the hours you were wasting on second guessing. You feel a new steadiness because attention returns to one point. This steadiness is not loud, it is calm. It feels like standing on firm ground after walking in sand. You do not need to announce anything. You simply move in one direction long enough for momentum to build. Decision frees you from constant comparison. Decision frees you from asking for permission from people who do not carry your calling. Decision frees you from bargaining with fear. Fear may still speak, but it no longer sets your schedule. Hold the truth that the soil of life is responsive. Seeds dropped by accident may sprout, but seeds planted by decision take root faster and deeper. You have seen this pattern before. Think of times you chose with your whole self. Start, stop, ask, answer, build, release. Even if your stomach fluttered, strength rose to meet your choice. Help you could not have planned came from the edges. Looking back, you can see the line. Before the decision, fog. After the decision, movement. The law did not change. You changed your position within it. Speak this again to anchor the stance in your body. I am a decisive being aligned with divine power. I cut off hesitation and delay. I commit fully to my chosen path. Through my decision, all things become possible. Say it slowly. Feel how your breath deepens as the words settle. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. You are not forcing yourself. You are agreeing with what is already true about you when you stand in your right place. If your mind asks for a sign before it will relax, give it the sign of action. Send the message. Put your name on the calendar. Make the purchase that moves the work forward. Close the tab that pulls you back. Decision is not a mood to wait for. It is a line you draw and then honor with movement. When you move, feedback arrives. Feedback is guidance in plain clothes. It tells you what to keep, what to adjust, what to release. Without movement, guidance has nothing to shape. Understand the kindness in this law. You are not required to know the entire route. You are required to choose your direction and take the next clean step. When you do, more light appears because it can be used. Help finds you because you are in motion. Synchronicity multiplies because there is something for it to meet. This is why the call to decide is not a harsh order. It is an invitation to relief. It ends the noise of constant maybe. It ends the drain of pretending to move while standing still. It returns you to simplicity. Yes or no. Go or do not. When you choose, you recover strength. Let today be the day you remove the back door. Name the thing you have been circling. Choose. If you are in, be in. If you are out, be out. If you are ready to step, step. If it is time to release, release. Decision does not make you brittle. It makes you honest. It gives your word weight. It gathers scattered energy and puts it where it belongs, into motion. Keep the sequence close because it will keep you close to yourself. Decision first, then clarity. Commitment first, then confirmation. Action first, then certainty. When you forget and fall back into waiting for perfect feelings, remember how the room stays dark until you flip the switch. Remember how often the path cleared after your last decisive move. Remember how good it feels to live from the inside out. Seal this part with a plain sentence you can carry in your pocket. I decide, and I move. My decision is stronger than my doubt. Clarity meets me as I go. Let it be simple. Let it be steady. Let it be the rhythm of your next hour. As you honor it, watch how the world rearranges itself around your choice and how the self you have been trying to become begins to feel like the self you already are. There is a moment when a choice stops being a single act and becomes who you are. That is the crossing we are making now. You have learned that action precedes clarity, that commitment invites confirmation, that faith is not noise but direction. You have seen how the law answers clean movement with clean results. The next step is to make this your identity, not a burst of effort, not a phase, a way of being that does not check the weather of your feelings before it moves, a way of being that treats decisive action as normal, as natural as breath. Identity is quiet but powerful. It runs your calendar without fanfare. It decides for you when the old habit of maybe tries to return. When you say, I am a person who moves, you are not pretending. You are telling the truth of the design within you and giving it room to act. Doubt was a habit, not your nature. Hesitation was a pattern, not your purpose. When a pattern has repeated for years, it can feel like truth. But truth is simpler. You were made to create, to choose, to step, to serve. The law backs that design. As you live from it, life stops feeling like a fight and starts feeling ordered. Hold the simple sequence in your body. Decision first, then clarity. You are not waiting to feel certain before you take the step. You are taking the step because you have chosen the path. That choice quiets the static. That choice frees attention. That choice gathers scattered energy and points it in one direction. This is not rigidity. It is relief. It is laying down the weight of constant negotiation and walking forward. It is refusing to spend another hour performing for fear or asking permission from voices that do not carry your calling. You will notice the world respond to this stance. A yes where there used to be silence. A resource that arrives when you actually need it. A meeting that opens a door you did not know to knock on. We call these surprises, but under divine order, they are answers. Seeds planted by decision take root quickly because the soil recognizes intent. When you lived in maybe, feedback was muddy. Now it becomes clear. Move, see, adjust, continue. The current carries you because you are in it. Speak this now and let it settle deeper than thought. I choose action as my way of being. I move first. Clarity meets me. My steps are ordered under grace, and the way opens as I go. Say it again without strain. Notice how your breath evens out. Notice how your shoulders drop. You are not trying to hype yourself up. You are agreeing with law. You are agreeing with the divine within you that has always been ready to express. If the mind pushes back with old stories, let it speak while you keep moving. I tried this before and slipped. That was practice. I need more certainty. Action produces it. What if I make the wrong move? A moving ship can turn. A docked ship gathers rust. You are not gambling. You are honoring guidance by giving it something to guide. Infinite intelligence can steer your steps far better than it can steer your pause. Direction improves in motion. Provision multiplies in motion. Confidence grows in motion. This is why identity matters. When action is who you are, motion is not a battle you have every morning. It is the floor you stand on. Make your environment agree with your identity. Keep near you the words that return you to the center when noise rises. Keep at hand the next visible step so that you never have to search for a place to begin. Keep your promises to yourself small and real so that you can keep them daily. Identity is built by kept promises. Self-trust is built by visible follow-through. You will feel the difference in a week. You will see the difference in a month. You will live the difference in a year. The law of increase is patient and exact. What you do with faith repeats and grows. When you feel the old handbrake of doubt pull, call it by its name and release it. Doubt is not discernment. Doubt is delay dressed as caution. Discernment is quiet and clear. It says yes or no and lets you move. Doubt loops and stalls. You will learn the feel. You will learn to choose anyway. If your body tightens before a call, breathe once and press go. If your voice shakes in the first sentence, finish the second. It will steady there. If the result is not what you hoped, you will still be stronger on the other side because action grows you even when outcomes vary. That strength is a security no delay can give. Seal this identity with words that match your direction. I am unstoppable action personified. I honor the light I have and move under grace. The road reveals itself as I walk. Let the words be plain. Let them be yours. Write them where your eyes will meet them. Speak them when your feet want to freeze. Each time you do, you are not casting a spell. You are removing resistance. You are letting the river be a river. Know this, you were not designed for a life of careful circling. You were designed to enter, to build, to bless. The divine in you is not uncertain. It does not stall. It moves with calm force. When you align with that nature, you will feel less strain, not more. You will spend less time bracing and more time doing the next right thing. Results will come in right order. Opportunities will show at right time. People will feel the steadiness in you before you speak. This is not performance. It is coherence. Inner and outer match. Thought, feeling, and action agree. That agreement is power. Make it simple and keep it close. Today I move, and clarity meets me. Today I decide, and law supports me. Today I show up, and the road opens in perfect ways. If you lose your place, return to the sentence and take the next step you can see. The transformation you began is not a moment to chase. It is a stance to keep. Turn the choice into identity. Turn the identity into rhythm. Turn the rhythm into your new normal. Under grace in perfect ways, you are already walking as the person you came here to be. This is the hinge the whole message has been turning on. Decision. A real decision cuts off every other path. It does not ask your fear for permission. It does not wait for a better mood. It chooses a direction and moves. From that moment, energy that was scattered stops leaking away. Attention gathers. Strength rises to meet your choice. This is why the moment of decision is the moment of destiny. Not because doubt has vanished, but because your commitment is now stronger than your doubt. Choose you this day whom you will serve. That is not theory, it is a plain instruction for today. Will you serve the old habit of uncertainty, or will you serve the divine action moving through you now? Everyone who ever brought a vision into the world stood in this same doorway. They were not spared from mixed feelings. They were not excused from unknowns. They simply chose, and they moved in the direction of that choice long enough for the law to answer them. Under divine order, the response is exact. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Notice the sequence again. Work first, thoughts established after, commitment first, confirmation after. You send the signal with your act. You place weight on your yes. You let the world feel your choice. Then guidance clarifies, resources appear, timing aligns. We call this luck. It is response. Your mind may ask for proof before it relaxes. Give it proof it can use. Send the message. Put the meeting on the calendar. Open the document and write the first page. Say the truth you have been carrying. Make the payment that moves the work forward. These are not grand gestures for show. They are small, visible lines that say, I am in. Once drawn, you will feel a quiet relief. Decision reduces noise. It ends the long bargaining with maybe. It frees time and attention so that you can do the next right thing. If fear tries to bargain as you move, let it speak while you act. If your stomach tightens, breathe once and take the step anyway. If your voice shakes, finish the second sentence. It will steady there. You are not pretending to be fearless. You are practicing faith that moves the feet. In this order, certainty is not a ticket you hand over to gain entry to action. Action earns you certainty. Every step lays track in front of you. With each mile, the old story loses power and your new identity takes root. Say this aloud so your whole system hears it. I am a decisive being, aligned with divine power. I cut off hesitation and delay. I commit fully to my chosen path. Through my decision, all things become possible. Do not rush the words. Let them settle. Feel the ground under your feet. Feel the steadiness of a clear yes. You are not forcing yourself. You are agreeing with how law works and with who you are at your best. Think of moments in your own life when you chose cleanly. Leave, begin, ask, answer, build, release. Even with nerves present, help came. Doors you did not. No to knock on opened from the inside. Looking back, you can trace the line. Before the decision, fog. After the decision, movement. That pattern is not rare, it is reliable. Seeds planted by choice root, faster than seeds dropped by drift. The soil recognizes intent. Keep the sequence simple and close. Decision first, then clarity. Commitment first, then confirmation. Action first, then certainty. When you forget and slip into waiting for a perfect feeling, remember how a room stays dark until you flip the switch. The light was always available. It needed your choice. So does your next chapter. It is not holding itself back from you. It is waiting for the moment you stop negotiating and step. If part of you fears choosing the wrong thing, hear this with kindness. A moving ship can turn. A docked ship rusts. Guidance is easier to receive in motion. Course corrections are gentler when you are already underway. Infinite intelligence can steer your steps better than it can steer your pause. You are not trapped by one choice. You are strengthened by making one. The strength you gain in the process is security you can carry into every path. Let today hold a visible line you can point to, not a plan you might start, a start you actually make. Write the opening paragraph, place the call, send the invitation, state the boundary, enroll in the class, press publish, close the door that needs to be closed, open the door that needs to be opened. These acts are not small. They are seals. They say to your own mind, I can be trusted to act. Self-trust is a foundation no delay can give you. As you move, keep listening. Feedback will arrive. Some will affirm, Some will correct. All of it will clarify. Treat it as guidance in plain clothes. Adjust without drama and continue. Momentum will do what momentum always does. It will carry you farther than worry ever could. Hold a sentence you can reach for in any room. I decide and I move. My decision is stronger than my doubt. Clarity meets me as I go. Let it be steady rather than loud. Let it be a rhythm rather than a shout. The universe is not resisting you. It is waiting for your signal. Send it now with your choice and your step. The rest of the path will show as you walk. Know this truth. You were born for greatness. You were designed to build real things, to bring what is unseen into the world through clear, steady action. The divine in you is not confused. It does not stall, bargain, or wait for perfect weather. Its nature is motion, calm, ordered, unstoppable. When you step into that nature, your life stops feeling like a fight and starts feeling aligned. This is the seal of everything we have said. Doubt was a habit, not your identity. Hesitation was a pattern, not your purpose. You are here to decide and to move. The power of decision is the hinge of destiny. When you choose, you cut off escape routes. You withdraw your energy from endless maybe and give it to one clear yes. That act gathers your focus. It ends the silent leak of attention. It turns what you know into what you do. This is why life answers a real choice. The moment you commit, doors you could not see come into view. People appear. Ideas land. Timing lines up. We call it luck. Under divine order, it is response. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. First commit, then clarity. First works, then thoughts established. Most people reverse this and wait forever. You are done waiting. Say this with steady breath so your whole system hears it. I am a decisive being aligned with divine power. I cut off hesitation and delay. I commit fully to my chosen path. Through my decision, all things become possible. Let the words settle. Feel how simple they are. They do not ask you to force anything. They invite you to agree with how law works and to stand in who you already are when you are at your best. You do not need to destroy every trace of doubt. You need one clean act that is stronger than doubt. Action earns certainty. Movement produces guidance. Feedback arrives to shape your next step. A moving ship can turn. A docked ship rusts. Infinite intelligence can steer you in motion far better than it can steer your pause. This is why the next step matters more than the perfect plan. The next step is the plan. Decide, move, receive guidance, adjust, continue. That rhythm is how faith becomes evidence in the physical world. If your mind asks for a sign, give it a sign it can use. Send the message. Put the meeting on the calendar. Open the document and write the first page. Press publish. State the boundary. Enroll. Begin. Close what needs to be closed. Open what needs to be opened. These are not small gestures. They are seals. They tell your own heart, I can be trusted to act. Self-trust is a foundation no delay can give you, and from that foundation, everything builds faster. Hold close the order that sets you free. Decision first, then clarity. Commitment first, then confirmation. Action first, then certainty. When the old habit tries to return and tells you to wait for the perfect feeling, remember how a room stays dark until you flip the switch. The light is there, but it needs your choice. So does your next chapter. It is not withholding itself. It is waiting for the weight of your yes. You may worry about choosing wrong. Hear this with kindness. Guidance in motion is gentle. Course changes are easy when you are already moving. You are not trapped by a single choice. You are strengthened by choosing. What you gain in the process, skill, focus, self-respect, travels with you into every path. Even when an outcome is different than you hoped, you are larger on the other side because action grows you. That growth is safety. It cannot be taken away. Now seal this identity in plain words you can live. I choose action as my way of being. I move first. Clarity meets me. My steps are ordered under grace, and the way opens as I go. Write it where your eyes will meet it. Speak it when your feet want to freeze. Each time you do, you are not performing for the world. You are aligning with the current that has always been carrying you. Let this be the moment when the handbrake drops. No more circling the same decision. No more waiting for a perfect mood. No more pretending that inaction is safe. You know the law. You know the sequence. You know the feel of a clean step. You have spoken the words. You have felt the lift. The transformation is not something you need to hunt down. It is already happening as you honor what you know and do the next right thing. So choose. Choose to begin. Choose to continue. Choose to finish. Choose to be the person who moves. The universe is not arguing with you. It is listening for your signal. Send it now with your choice and your step. Let your life bear the evidence of what you decided here. Under grace in perfect ways, watch how quickly the world rearranges itself around a clear mind, a steady heart, and feet that move. The power is yours. The door is open. The time is now.